Hey there, Professor Demersion here. We're going to emphasize our selection skills in this lesson. We want to always kind of keep revisiting the things that we've learned so far in class and build on them. So I want to kind of get back into selecting stuff in Photoshop and refining it in a cool new way with using masks and using a brush of all things to make a selection. So this is our end result here. We have a shape of New Jersey here, and I have a video of an eye, kind of just someone's just blinking, blah blah blah. You could put any kind of video in there. I'll send you these files just so you have some video files to mess with. Just as a kind of side note, you could put a little drop shadow on here and through another video behind it. That's something that you could do as well. It's a little bit tricky, but for the homework, this is going to be your end result. Let me show you how to make what they call a mask like that. It's an alpha channel. So here we are. Let me get rid of this. And this is a file that I've sent to you guys. I just grabbed it off the web. It's okay. We're going to talk about what stuff you can use from the web and what stuff you can't. Because we're just going to make a selection of this, we're not going to actually use the image. It's fine to use this. So what we want to do to start with is we're going to use one of these. We want to knock out all the white here, and then we have some intricate areas down in here where the Long Beach Island is. We're going to make sure we knock that out really nicely as well. So we want to get a very detailed, sharp selection is what our goal is. So let's start by clicking on the magic wand tool. You could also do this with the quick selection tool and just kind of use the option key to add and to subtract, and the shift key to add to your selection. But I think it's going to be easier just to start with the magic wand tool. Make sure your tolerance is right around 32 here, and what I want you to do is click in the white area and then hold down the shift key and click in the white area here and here and here and here. So you can see the marching ants are all around, and what we've done here is we've selected everything but the green area. So what I want to do is select the green area. There's a special trick to do that called inverse. I think we've done this before in another session, but inverse is what you do, and now you'll see the marching ants are only on New Jersey. Now that I've got this selection, I'm going to bump it up into its own layer by going Command J. You can see now that we have its own layer here, and I'm just going to hide that so you can see that we have this transparent area here. But the thing is that this area is not transparent. The white is still there. So this is what we got to refine, and there's some more areas right in here as well. So let's tackle that next. What I want to do is start with, let's make a selection. I'm going to go over to the layer here. I'm going to hold down the Command key and click that layer. So you can see the marching ants are back now on our New Jersey state here. Now here's the new stuff. So while that stuff's selected, while the state of New Jersey is selected on this top layer, what I want you to do is click this guy here, which is called the Quick Mask button. Okay, and when you hit that, what you'll see is this, what they call a rubylith, and that is something that shows you what is selected and what's not selected. So you can see with this red on, we can see that this area really needs to be improved. The real kind of precise selection hasn't been done yet. We want to concentrate on that. So the way to do this with when you're working Quick Mask is to actually paint with a brush tool the selection that you want. And so let me show you how that works. Choose the brush tool. You could just hit the quick key B, and then you want to choose because we're going to be working like at the pixel level, choose one pixel and then choose a hard edge brush. Okay, we can talk about some of these later, but just as you would imagine, they're softer brushes. And let's zoom in on this area here. I'm going to hit the Z key, and we're just going to go in like that. Now you can see here is just like the quiz. I'm going to hold down the space bar to do the hand tool, and going to go B back over to our brush tool. And what you want to really make sure is that you're painting with black. And so one thing that's going to be on the next quiz is that black conceals and white reveals. And so what I'll explain what we're doing here. So I'm just going to paint in here, and you'll start to see that what I'm doing is I'm painting the Rubylith color in here and with this brush tool. And what I'm doing is I'm adding to the selection that exists already. And so what we're going to eventually do is we're going to delete this selection. But it's really easier to kind of paint at this 1 pixel level. And you can really get in there. I might even zoom in a smidge more. Okay, and hold down the space bar. And so you could really see how you want to be precise and get all up in there, as the kids say. And so you want to really do a nice job with this. Now when you've got all this stuff done, let me just show you can also, if you want to get really hardcore fun, Jackie, yes, my crazy kind of fun. Okay, so change that to like 50% or something like that. And when you're painting with 50%, it's half the opacity. And so what that means, it's like a gray tone in between. So for these areas inside, they'll be like half and half. That's only if you want to. I'm totally fine if you want to just do full-on 100% and concentrate on these bigger white areas here and not worry about those little indent areas. So take your time. This is going to take about 15 minutes or so. But I want you to see, like, okay, when you got this part done, and then you just hold down the space bar, go over to this part, then hold down the space bar, go over, look closely. Here's some more stuff. I got to take care of that. And then don't worry about these interior lines. We're not going to deal with. It's the exterior whites like this that I'm really concerned with. Okay, and so you'll paint this kind of thing in here. We're painting with the black, and when you have a bigger section of the area to work with, you could bump it up to like a 3 pixel one, and it'll just save you a little time. And then you go right along the edge with the 1 pixel one if you want to get in there a little bit closer. Okay, so let's say this is done, and what you want to do is go back over to the quick mask, click that off, and I'm going to go zoom out, Command 0 there. So you can see I need to continue to work here, but the marching ants are all right there. Now what you want to do is, what's happened is we have everything but New Jersey selected, so we want to inverse that. And now, so what we did was we used to have New Jersey selected. Now we have everything but New Jersey. And I'm going to just hit the delete key. So you can see those areas where we just were. I'm going to deselect now and zoom in. This area now is empty, just like we wanted. Okay, you should probably do that blue stuff too. And you can see the top part of this is all gone. And you got to go in here and get that stuff. So what you want to do next is, once you get everything done the way that you want, command click the layer that's fully selected. And what I want you to do is to switch these. So you want to fill that entire state with white. So to switch it, you can just hit the X key. It switches this back and forth. Really handy. You can paint also in white if you mess up. I'll show you that. So what I want you to see is I want you to fill the state with white, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make another layer and then hit the X key. On this layer I'm going to fill that with black. Whoops. I'm going to deselect here and then fill with black. So this is what you want. Yours is going to be better. You want a white and black. So white reveals, black conceals. Just like we saw when we started, the video is going to show through here and not show through here. You could put other video behind that. Okay? So when you're done, chuck out this one, and you want to just save this. You could what I would do is this: save as, your name, Francis, and then say Photoshop, okay. And then what I would do is, so now that this is a totally separate file, just in case you want, I would keep the other one, and then you can merge these two. Layer, merge layers, and now you have this totally nice white and black one layered image. Okay, now what you can do is bring that your name image into Photoshop, into Final Cut Pro, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now you're in Final Cut Pro, and the image that I'm using here, New Jersey Alpha, no other layers. Okay, that would be like the equivalent of Francis. I just had this set up before. So what I want you to see is you take that, you import it in. I'm going Control. You could also go, so import files, and you could find your named file, that PSD file, and bring that in here. You could also just go into the file menu, import files. Okay, and then what you want to do is find, this is the one, you chuck it into the timeline. Okay, there it is, just like you saw in Photoshop. And then I want you to add a video on top of that one. Now you would think that you'd want the, I just hit the up arrow key to do that, by the way. You'd think that you'd want to put that here. I'm going to hit the B key, which is the blade tool, hit A, and then delete. So right now you're seeing just the eye here, and if I double click that, right now it's switched around. If you put this to 180, that's the rotation. I just flipped it so it's right side up. Okay, and let's while we got the scale going, let's scale it. See how it's not a full framed image here. It's from an old SD cam. Okay, so now we have the full eye here is taking up the entire space. How do you get this top layer to assume the mask here? And the way you do that is with this thing called an alpha channel. I'm going to right click the top layer, and I'm going to go down to this thing called composite mode here and choose alpha. Okay, and there you go. Now we have, I'm going to click off of it, so now you have the video that's on top has assumed the shape of the alpha. Now you could choose, you can make, hopefully you're realizing, oh my god, I can take any kind of crazy selection that I make in Photoshop and then fill it with white, fill the other parts with black, and then bring it into Final Cut Pro, and I can use that as a mask. And this is called an alpha channel. It's just saying certain things, reveal certain things, conceal other things, and there you go. So what I want you to do for Tuesday is to do this exact same thing. Come to class with your file in Final Cut Pro like this, and then also upload your one layered PSD Photoshop document file into eCampus. See you soon.